taking on Drew Lock and the New York Giants.
First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, happy to be with you. And CD, as we get this thing going, give the folks at home something to keep their eye on.
The running game for both teams, because I think this is going to be an old-fashioned, old-school type of a game. Physical, who wins up front, who runs the ball the best and controls the clock, they will come out the victor.
Kicker Graham Gano set to put his foot into this one. And we are underway from Ford Field. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. They're led onto the field by the former Cal Bear and the #1 overall pick in 2016, Jared Goff.
And at one point, the ascension of Jared Goff was really, really strong. Back-to-back Pro Bowls, took his team to the Super Bowl and came really within one quarter of winning it. But since that time, he's had bouts of inconsistency, and that's been the struggle for him as he tries to get back to the form he showed earlier in his career.
And that's not the start that he was looking for, as he's going to be met and dropped behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
That was well played there defensively. Two tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Here's Goff. And that's to Amon-Ra St. Brown. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And now we've got a 3rd down and 3.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Goff on 3rd down. And that will be incomplete. They couldn't hook up on what's going to be the final play of this first quarter. We're scoreless after 1. Second quarter action now from Detroit, and it's the homestanding Lions who have the football as they've got it with a 4th down coming up. And here now the punter Fox as he sends this one away. It's a 45-yard punt, just a 1-yard return. And it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. They will be led out by a 2nd-round pick in 2019. Out of Missouri, it's Drew Lock.
And I think that everyone is looking forward to seeing Drew Lock take the next step in the quarterback evolutionary process. Decision-making is something that he's working on improving because he's got plenty of arm and makes excellent off-platform throws. What he's seeking now? To be consistent in all of his processes. That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make 2nd down, 2nd and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
Second and 10. Here's Lock. He's got his tight end. It's Chris Manhertz. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. On 1st and 10, here's Locke. He'll get this into the hands of the wideout from LSU. Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Could we get a touchdown in this first half after all? It's 1st and 10. To throw it is Locke. A short throw pulled in by Bellinger. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Here's 2nd and 3. Throwing now is Locke. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now. That's already the 3rd time they've looked his way on this opening drive. He's caught 1 of the 3.
That doesn't mean they won't continue to go in that direction. It feels like they think they've got something good going there, and they think those numbers are going to increase.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Locke now to throw. A short throw pulled in by Bellinger. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. Now a timeout. 7 seconds left in the first half. So even though it's 1st down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. Gano's kick is good. And we have action on the scoreboard just before halftime. It's 3-0. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this 1-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these 2 teams at the break. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcoming everyone to our downtown Orlando studios in this EA Sports Halftime Report. This one's been all about the defense. Just a lone field goal in that first half, and as a result, not too much available in terms of highlights. But that's okay. We've got a full half to go. And to bring it your way, let's get back out to Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach. Yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this 3rd quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. Just 1 field goal and a tightly played first half as we resume action here in quarter number 3. Amir Smith-Marset now from his end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Here's the Giants offense now getting set to start the 3rd quarter. And, Charles, we've seen almost 3 full quarters now, and neither offense can really get it going. Neither has hit the end zone, and neither side seemingly can make that big play.
But the game hasn't been devoid of action because these 2 defenses, they've taken over and they've slugged it out. But I think you're exactly right. We're at that stage of the game now where one of these offenses, if they make a big play, that could be the difference.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Lock gonna throw. Now this thrown deep for Slayton. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
A good action to this point in the third quarter. Just a 3-point game. 2nd and 10. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. 2nd down. Here's Tracy. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Now a timeout called for by the defense. And that's going to leave him with just one timeout remaining still in the third quarter. We'll see if that comes back to haunt him. We'll be back. Backed up here. Tough spot. Needing 11 yards to pick up the first. From the gun on 3rd down, Locke. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. Now a timeout called for by the defense. So, boy, that's already the 3rd they burned here. They are out of timeouts now before we've even hit the 4th quarter. A pair of first downs gives him a 1st and 10 up at the 44. Here's Locke to throw. This pass into the hands of Bellinger. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. 11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the 1st down.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Tracy going to get it on 1st down. And he'll be taken down after a decent gain, and that will bring us to the end of this third quarter of play. 3 quarters in the books. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at Ford Field. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. And they'll take a knee as the clock runs under a minute to play. Locke, he's set to take a knee, and that should do it for this ball game.
Brandon, I can just tell you from experience, there's nothing like pitching a shutout on defense, but even more so when it's a tight game. I mean, when every defensive play is crucial and you don't give up any points, boy, they're going to feel awfully good about themselves after this one.
Yeah, exactly. The offense wasn't humming, but, hey, all they needed was you can't score 1 point. All they needed was 2 points. Well, you can't score 2 points on offense. All they needed was at least 3, and they got what they needed.
They got what they needed. Exactly right.
So a victory here for the men in blue, the New York Giants. And not all W's are created equal, CD, and this one came in shutout fashion.
Well, their offense certainly didn't need to do anything, right? They could take the day off, and they did. But the defense, they carried them in a big way.
Yeah, look, the offense obviously stuff to work on, but they did enough, and the defense carried the load.
Well, you know what they say. It's always fun to work on things. If it didn't go well in your game, with a victory in your pocket. And that's what they've got going forward.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gunn, and this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. With that, we say so long, everyone, from Ford Field.